number one is we will begin right now the Bruins Benders podcast top 30 Bruins prospects as we roll those sons of guns out again. And we're going to start with number 30. And number 30 on the list is your friend and mine, Jake Schmaltz, is on this list at number 30, hanging
Schmaltzy.
on by his Schmaltz.
By his Schmaltz. Absolutely.
Right. Jake is at North Dakota, as they say out there.
No doubt.
After third year at North Dakota, has seen a drop in production, we shall say. He went from 8 goals and 16 assists his first year to 5 goals and 7 assists his sophomore year. And then as a junior, 1 goal and 10 assists in 36 games. So Jake, who was the 7th round pick in 2019, a 6'2", 185-pound left shot forward, has struggled some offensively and now is sort of entering his senior year here at North Dakota. You start to wonder where his future lies.
Yeah, it's really looking to me like he'll probably end up being an undrafted free agent. Like, I don't think the Bruins are going to waste time signing him. They only have a certain amount of contract slots, and I don't think Jake is valuable enough for them to warrant signing him to a contract. So I think he's going to end up going the undrafted route to see if he can hook on with somebody, maybe earn an amateur tryout with an AHL team and try to go from there, or he goes over to Europe and plays there. So yeah, it's probably, unless he has, a huge senior year, a huge rebound year, it looks unlikely that his time in the Bruins organization will continue.
And Jake, hockey in the family, Nick and Jordan are both cousins of Jake Schmaltz. Nick is actually an excellent player with the he was with the Arizona Coyotes, now with the Utah Jazz or whoever they are. And but Jake was a teammate of Mason Lohrei with the Green Bay Gamblers of the USHL.
Yeah. So
Jakey, heading into his senior year at North Dakota, comes in at number 30. Number 29 on this list. And that is, as I just lost it, I was looking right at it. That is, who's 29? Help me out.
Jonathan Morello.
Jonathan Morello was just drafted by the Boston Bruins in the 2024 NHL draft. Has some skill, some decent upside, size, as they have drafted size a bunch. Yeah. And Morello played at the development camp there, the rookie development camp, and showed some nice things. So here's a kid that drafted later in the 2024 draft, but has some tools anyway.
Yeah, I think he's, he was drafted in the later round, so I don't know how much they're expecting from him. But big kid, has good offensive instincts and a good hockey IQ. So, looking for some good things from him coming up here in the future.
Speed and size. He has some really good speed for a skater. And the Bruins, Cam Neely talked about getting faster this offseason. Then lo and behold, they got bigger. But and they lost some speed, but they did gain some in the draft here. And he's going to Clarkson University. He spent the last 2 seasons with the St. Michael's Buzzers of the Ontario Junior Hockey League at 57 points in 50 games last season. So Jonathan Morello is 29, moving on to 28 on the top 30. And that is Ryan Mast, defenseman, was drafted a bit ago now. And he's kind of hanging on to the top 30 here, sliding down some. And he's been with the Maine Mariners. He's been with the Providence Bruins. He's been loaned back and forth. It's been sort of he's been moved around a bunch. And now you wonder, a kid like Mast, what the future holds for him with some of the defensemen they drafted this year, and also, guys like Frederick Brunet and Jaxon Edward.
Yeah.
So you wonder what that means for Mast.
Probably means that he's probably going to be a 4A guy. The Bruins prospects pool is not great, and we're dipping into the shallow end right now. So a lot of these guys, I don't know if they'll necessarily make the jump to the NHL. I mean, Morello and some of these guys that were just drafted, time will tell there. But some of these guys like Mast and some others that have been around a little while, you start to think maybe they're, 4A guys where their ceiling might be Providence Bruins, might be sometime in Europe. But a solid defenseman won't really wow you with anything. And that might be part of the problem is to make it to the NHL, you need to really have a standout skill. We've said this before, that you have to have something that you're elite at. I don't think he does. So he probably will be, an AHL guy going forward.
He is 21, Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, native, 6'5", 220. Big kid. He did sign an entry-level deal. He has $830,556 against the cap. 2021 sixth-round pick. And last year he played 47 games for the Maine Mariners. So Ryan Maston at 28. 27 is Drew Bavaro. And this was a kid, Bavaro, who they signed out of Notre Dame, Fighting Irish, last year. So Bavaro is in at 27. And, the Bruins have had a little bit of success with college free agents. And, Bavaro is someone who has obviously some ability at a major program. And hopefully he's 24 years old, though. He's an older guy. He is from Bradenton, Florida, 6'2", 198, right shot D-man. And he played at Bentley, 2 seasons at Bentley before going on to the Fighting Irish.
Waltham, Mass. His own.
Waltham, Mass. Bentley. Last year he had 10 goals and 10 assists at Notre Dame in 35 games, and then played 7 games pointless with the Providence Bruins last season. He'll probably be right back there with Providence again this coming season, but taking a flyer on a college free agent.
Yeah, I mean, and he's a bigger kid, scored 10 goals, so that's nothing to sneeze at.
Nope.
So maybe he's got a chance to do something. Scratch out a place for him in the AHL, and if there's some injuries, maybe he gets a shot in Boston. But it's good to have some defensive depth there, and the Bruins take a shot with a big kid who was locally at Bentley, and then goes on to play against really good competition at Notre Dame. So he's got some upside and some ability. So he's got a chance. He's got a chance to maybe surprise and do some things here in the AHL, and then hopefully with the Bruins.
And then 26 is Jaxon Nelson, 5 seasons with the Minnesota Golden Gophers. He was a captain. His 5th year, he had 19 goals and 12 assists. His 5th year at Minnesota, played 7 games, did score 1 goal with the Providence Bruins after signing a contract with them that was at $870,000. He is 6'4", 220, a center, 24 years old, so another older guy. But as what was a trend for a bit, the Bruins tend to love captains of hockey clubs.
They do.
John Farinacci was a captain. Like, they like that leadership aspect.
Absolutely. I think, and that goes to their culture. I think, you bring in the right kind of guys. Captains are usually guys that are going to be hard workers, that'll do kind of whatever it takes for the team, and obviously leaders and probably vocal in the room. So a lot to like about guys who are captains usually, but not necessarily always the most talented guys on the team, but hard workers and so forth. And that can only help with the depth in your organization if you bring in a bunch of guys who are willing to work hard and do the right things, and it will show the guys who maybe come in and do have a little more talent, how to do things the right way and stuff. So I think that culture kind of extends down to, Providence and maybe even Maine, so The Bruins are kind of building an organizational philosophy of accountability and so forth. So, a nice pickup for them. Well, Charlie Coyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's not from Weymouth.
No.
But he is a bigger kid, and they do like the big kids too.
They do. Big size.
Yeah.
Size.
Size. So
size matters.
Size does matter if you're if you're a Bruin. So I don't know if do they measure that when they measure when they're doing all the measuring of the different things.
I don't pay attention to much measurements. But,
I don't know if that's allowed. I don't know if you're allowed to measure the schmaltz when you're
no, the schmenza
when you're doing the
stays out of it.
the push-ups and the pull-ups and
no.
I don't think you can measure the 40-yard dash and then the schmaltz.
So there's our 26 through 30. Next week we'll do 21 through 25.